Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of The Best of the Scream Factory, the magazines of horrors past, present and future. Now, I love this collection because I didn't buy any of the Scream Factory, so it's really nice to get the best of book, and there, and you can see who it's by. Now, it's 600 pages. It's quite a substantial book. I must admit, I was quite surprised when it came. I was expecting something slightly smaller. I mean, I knew it was 600 pages, but I didn't expect a huge tome like this. Now, I bought it because I bought this one, Bare Bones, and I've been enjoying it. Some of the articles in there, very, very good. Now, I haven't read every single bit of that. I haven't read every single bit of this, but certainly they are absolutely very enjoyable articles. So this one worth checking out as well. So let's just go through it. Now, it's 600 pages. The only criticism always with these things is, of course, the paperback. It slightly ends up getting damaged very quickly. It's not the hardest of sort of the most durable of covers. And also it's got, of course, the good old Amazon bend, as I always got, I don't know, or curve, whatever you want to call it, the curl of the page. It's really terrible. I've got loads of books that have just got that, and you can see obviously printed there by Amazon. Well, I can't say anything because I've actually got some books as well done with Amazon, and they've already got that sort of curl of the page. However, let's just go through this, and it's got here, and it's a tricky one to review because, of course, there's just so many articles. But let's just pick a few, just here. Now, Future APA of Horror, the Esoteric Order of the Dagon. I was going to say dragon, but Dagon. And so that's another thing you probably quite easily do. Obviously all about Lovecraft and all that sort of stuff. A great selection of Lovecraftian research there. And also you've got Worst Horror Novels of All Time. I love that sort of book. I love books that sort of go with the worst as well as the best. It's always nice to... Also, The Curse of the Fanthorpes. So you've got lots and lots of examples. It's just lots of detail about stuff that I just never realised. So I think it's just great. So you've got there, the Fanthorpes, the Down the Badger Hole. The Badger Years. I even remember seeing these sort of things turned up at sort of comic marts and things. You often see them sort of piles of these sort of books. And I should buy them, of course, but don't always. Otto Binder there. You've got Hospital Horror. So you've got just loads and loads and loads of covers. The Box, The Getaway, Jim Thompson. So you've got articles about Jim Thompson. This one, The Killer Inside Him. Again, lots and lots of examples of work, and also obviously descriptions of all the books. So it's just full of tons and tons of information. You obviously just go and check out on the Amazon, or also maybe I think there's a website maybe with some details of all what's in this. But it's just so much. I mean, it's just a huge, huge amount. You can see here from the actual contents, the sort of things that you're getting. So you're getting things about radio horror genre. You've got the sound of horror, survey of music and horror films. You've got the early stories of C.L. Moore. You've got Brian Stapleford, horror in science fiction novels. You've got Dark Side of Light, survey of horror in science fiction anthologies, mummy novels. There's Yeti yarns and Sasquatch stories, Canadian horror, Australian horror, all about their films, British horror fiction, rebirth of horror British fiction, horror films by Kim Newman, and so on. Anne of Green Gables, anyway, has risen from the grave. An overview of Canadian horror fiction. I was going to say that's a bit weird. I didn't think Anne of Green Gables really should be a sort of horror or science fiction. Also got the overview of DC Comics mystery lines, Marvel monster mags. You've also got Night Stalking with and so on and so on. There's just page after page of just absolutely great articles. Lots and lots of pics all the way through this book. And I'm really super impressed by this. I just think it's absolute, brief history of the film industry in Australia and New Zealand. I mean, wow. Okay, maybe you might not be that, I don't know. But I think it's just fascinating to read all these things. You think, this is just... And also it's got here the Pan books as well. So you've got the third ghost book. Remember those sort of ones. The Spawn of Satan, Charles Birkin. And many, many other horror pulpit. There's a great article about weird tales. Lots and lots about weird tales. And also Lovecraft. And many, many more. And I think it's just... look at the series in horror fiction, just brilliant. Article after article of just great stuff about stuff. Like I say, the old mystery lines of 1970s. DC produced quite a lot. And so they've got obviously House of Secrets, House of Mystery, Phantom Stranger. There's another one, House of Mystery, Weird Mystery Tales. I must admit that's one. I do remember it, but can't remember particularly buying many copies of that Weird Mystery Tales. But they obviously had quite a few. Dark Mansion, I remember that one. Plop. Was that? I think that was. I sort of assumed that was a comedy one more than anything, but obviously they've included in here. Also, you've got good old Gold Key ones there as well. The Dr. Spectre stories there. Dracula Lives, and so on. And Warren section in here as well. Obviously, that's the C.L. Moore one. You've got Shambhala, or how you say that, I'm not really certain. Still, absolutely, War of the Worlds, Day of the Triffids, and so on. This book is amazing. Absolutely super impressive book. I really love this. And it's also very affordable as well, which is something that's really great. When I looked online, I thought, oh, you know what? That looks like a great tome for a great price. So absolutely thoroughly enjoyable. And like I say, I'm going to have many hours of enjoyment going through this Weird Tales. And it's also quite depressing when you look at some of the things you think, oh, that one, that'd be nice to get. The Rivals of Weird Tales. I think that's really available. But it's also got just lots and lots of great little bits of information of all the various books. Arthur Burke's Hugh B. Cave. Oh, G.G. Darves. I'm not certain how you say his name. Just great. What other things? Oh, Horror in Pulps. Again, Weird Tales. A lot of Weird Tales. So this book is really, if you're into horror fiction and all those sort of things, then I think this book you will absolutely love. It's just brilliant. Horror Past, Present and Future. The Scream Factory. The best of the Scream Factory. This is an absolute gem, a labour of love, beautiful book, love these sort of things. So definitely, totally recommended.